Hello everybody, Disciple here with Overwatch Curios and Overwatch Moments. Before we get into today's video, I've got a quick message from a sponsor and I wanted to share with you guys an awesome way to get free gift cards for things like PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam. The app is called AppBounty on Android and Blue on iOS, and you can follow the link in the description to check it out. Sign up with the code OWC for Overwatch Curios for some free points, and then get started earning towards your own free gifts. You can do really simple things like downloading apps and completing short tasks that are absolutely free to you, and you'll immediately earn points that you can use not just for gaming, but on sites like iTunes, Netflix, and Amazon as well. I do about 90% of my shopping on Amazon. I buy way too many games on Steam that I haven't played yet, and I like to Netflix and chill with the best of them, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind having a little bit of extra spending money. If nothing else, you can get more loot boxes to snag those awesome event skins that aren't going to be around for too long. I've actually used the app myself long before they contacted me, and I can promise you guys it's legit, so check out the link below and give it a try. Anyways, let's get started. So, a while back we brought you a video on some really awesome fan-made hero designs from the Overwatch community, detailing some very creative work in both art and character design, and I really love seeing what you guys can come up with because it's insanely cool. You can check out the video we made here if you want a refresher. Now we're going to check out some more, but with a twist. Today we're looking at 7 awesome fan-made character designs that are actually crossovers from other games, genres, and media. Now we've got some heroes blended with other Blizzard franchises, as well as a couple outside influences. So let's check them out. First up, we've got a great Genji Illidan crossover that you're probably not prepared for. Sayukri Sabar merged the full cybernetic design of Genji with the subtle but highly recognizable traits of everyone's favorite betrayer. Now the first thing that catches the eye is of course the cyborg version of the Warglaives of Azzinoth, Illidan's weapons of choice. While overall smaller than the actual Warglaives, they seem to fit very well with Genji's sleek and fit looking armor style. You'll actually notice the details in the armor as well. The green detail lines glow with the power of Fel, which resemble Illidan's body tattoos. Illidan at one time was a Night Elf, and this Genji's ears and singular strand of ponytail pay homage to similar traits on Illidan himself. The crossover goes beyond just the cosmetic appearances though. You can easily see Genji and Illidan's combat styles merging as they both have a high mobility dash, use close range bladed weapons, and use aerial maneuvers to confuse foes. Illidan can throw his glaives and Genji tosses shurikens all over the place, so it's not really a big stretch either. All in all, this crossover makes perfect sense both visually and functionally and could probably fit into Overwatch just fine. And maybe if Blizzard designed their own version, I could even see it being an awesome skin, maybe even an ultimate version of a skin, even higher than Legendary, because it could be so cool to see just how far you could take the Illidan theme on this character. Blizzard loves doing crossovers with other games. I have the Baby Winston pet in WoW, and I have Mercy's Angel Wings in Diablo 3, but overall there really isn't a lot of crossover in Overwatch itself yet other than in sprays and character icons, so seeing something in a skin would be just awesome. Now the Diablo franchise has made some of the most wicked, high quality, and brutal looking armor in gaming, and it's absolutely no surprise that artists take inspiration from the game and throw it towards their favorite Overwatch heroes as well. NA brings us one such crossover in the form of Symmetra, outfitted in the excellently detailed and epic wizard armor from D3. You might recognize the armor as Li Ming's, who is the D3 wizard hero in Heroes of the Storm. Symmetra's armor in this amazing skin idea is almost exactly what the wizard has, but it would still be really cool to see. You'll see the spiked armor pieces covering the sensitive parts of the body like the torso and appendages, while the flowing cloth robes sprout from under the armor pieces and her belt. The magenta arcane aura color from Diablo remains, but here there's a twist. Here it does an awesome job at representing Symmetra's hard light constructs. Her weapon shape remains pretty much the same, but adopting the color scheme and sharpness of the rest of the armor, and you'll notice her headpiece does the same. She's missing any kind of visor to go along with the headpiece, but that's okay, as the rest of the outfit is amazingly detailed. Now I'm not sure if the wizard and Symmetra have any sort of crossover with their abilities, but perhaps replacing her primary fire and alt fire with the wizard's disintegrate and arcane orb respectively could be really cool. Anyway, it'd make a hell of a skin and I'd certainly grind some boxes for it. Now there's so many kinds of armor out there both in history and fantasy, and Pharah gets a lot of attention on these because she has her full-bodied Raptora armored suit and wings. Now Samuel Thompson brings us just such an armor that he calls Steel Core. Immediately you get a fantasy knight, warrior type vibe with the armor set, and it pretty much covers Pharah from head to toe. Unlike the usual rounded steel look and bulkiness of traditional armor, the Steel Core suit had very sharp, bladed edges and a very slim fitting form. The helm is extra stabby and has a graded cover for the eyes. Her weapon seems to no longer fire actual rockets with this skin, but instead fires some kind of energized crystal that presumably explodes when it lands, expelling that energy instead of an explosion. The extra large spaulders adorn her shoulders and look like they could take quite a few rounds before you'd really take any real damage through them. And they double up as weapons themselves as the hatch on top pops open to reveal even more of those energy projectiles that her weapon fires. Pharah could even do a shoulder charge like Reinhardt likes to do with these, and I'd imagine it hurt pretty bad. You'll notice her wings are thin and retractable and also seem to emit the same kind of energy that the weapon does. The bright red, orange, and chrome color scheme are sort of a warning signs showing how dangerous Pharah can be, and the entire package would fit right in with other armor-esque sets like Reinhardt's various skins, for example. The hanging cloth from her waist and shoulders round out the piece and give it a very noble appearance that could easily fit into Overwatch while also respecting Pharah's original design. Now, straight out of Darnassus comes yet another Shimada as yet another awesome Night Elf. Nana Valbjorn creates a much more traditional Warcraft Night Elf styled piece, turning Hanzo into a Darnassian archer, complete with a bow that came straight from the Moonwell. Hanzo is adorned in casual flowing elf apparel that looks like cloth or perhaps leather, which would fit with the elf hunter theme from WoW as well. On his belt are various potions and satchels for carrying various items needed for the hunt, and of course a quiver on his back loaded with arcane arrows. Hanzo himself has light-colored hair, which is a staple in the Night Elf community, as well as what looks to be pulsating or glowing lines in calligraphy on his left shoulder, mixing the arcane with the ancient oriental design of his original tattoos. He's also got the signature elven ears, as well as some massively long eyebrows that might help him keep balance when they hone in on their marks and feel changes in the environment like a cat whiskers. Or maybe they just look cool, kind of like the Thalens from Brandon Sanderson's books. Anyway, this skin could be an awesome transition into Overwatch, and Hanzo is of course a perfect archer to take up the Night Elf Hunter role. You can simply make his arrows reflect the arcane nature of the image, keep his movement abilities exactly the same, and maybe turn his ultimate from a dragon or wolf into one of the Night Elf animal gods such as a deer, an owl beast, or a cat. I think a lot of Blizzard and Warcraft fans would really get a kick out of this skin if it were ever actually dropped into Overwatch loot boxes. And one thing that could be really cool is a WoW themed event for Overwatch where we get some really cool WoW inspired skins as well as some other goodies. Alright, this next one is super awesome. So, Illidan Stormrage Reaper Edition looks as amazing as it sounds, and Alexandre Codeau nailed it on the head, capturing the Demon Hunter style in Reaper's brooding form. The crossover is about 50-50 Reaper and Illidan, starting from the ground up. He has Illidan's signature satyr hooves, and his pants and kilt bottom half are adorned with Legion symbols and what look like fell vials. His upper torso area is bare with only the familiar fell tattoos that demon hunters are known for, and his arms are wrapped in bandages just like Illidan. His upper body shrouded in the short cloak and leather shoulder armor, both reminiscent of the Warcraft Outland style, but also feeling like something Reaper would wear as well. The skin also has Illidan's long black hair, pointed ears, and demon horns, while converting Reaper's mask into what looks like actual bone. The dual Hellfire shotguns, or should I say Fellfire shotguns, glow a pale green as if infused by fell energy ready to be unleaded, then tossed aside. They even have sharp edges to give a nod to the Warglaives of Azeroth. Alexandre takes the design a step further and shows how easily the skin could incorporate Reaper's abilities, displaying both Shadow Step and Death Blossom, only with a fiery fell twist. A very excellent crossover that just about any Warcraft fan would probably love. Now, what's cooler than a cyborg ninja? Well, a cyborg medic, of course. Anna Dressen takes Genji's cybernetic armor and applies it to the person who created it, Mercy. Now, of course, we know that this armor is actually full-on replacements for Genji's destroyed body parts after his fight with Hanzo. It's not clear whether the artist created a suit or high-tech prosthetics replacing body parts themselves, but we'll just assume that it's similar mechanical design to the one that she wears in the battle already. The design of the suit is pretty much the same, but you can clearly see Genji-inspired pieces all across it. Of course, the neon green flare replaces the angelic golden light emitted from the grommets, arms, cloth, and wings. It also has distinctly Japanese writing on it. Her staff has the Shimada dragon symbol, and the biggest change here is definitely the mask covering her face that resembles a thinner, more feminine Genji mask style. The skin could very easily accommodate her abilities as well, just changing the color of the beam potentially from gold to green, and her res might have some additional animation like dragons flaring up instead of columns of light, and maybe a new voice line that spams Genji's "I need healing" over and over. That'd be pretty perfect, and the skin would also really help for the people that ship Genji and Mercy together, although I can't necessarily weigh in on that debate. Anyway, that's gonna be it for our list today. You guys are absolutely insanely creative, and you bring things that even the art teams over at Blizzard may not have even thought about. I really love seeing what the community creates, and I'd really love to see some of these skins potentially inspire some Overwatch versions as well. Now, I'm curious what your guys' favorite fan-made skins and hero designs are, and if you guys want to send them to us over Twitter, I'd be happy to check them out and maybe put them in a video in the future. Remember that our Twitter is @CuriosCommunity, and you can also reach me at Disciple Games. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.